On this episode of Monster Closet, modern horror versus old horror. Why the fuck can't modern directors make something even decent? We're going into the subject of old horror versus modern horror. And modern horror is something I really can't get behind because it sucks. It's usually over CGI'd horse shit, or it usually undercuts its own premise by trying to be too scary. Like, I just saw You're Next. Not a movie that I wanted to see, it was just a movie my girlfriend was interested in seeing, so awesome girlfriend. But I went to see it just because of that. It was a movie kinda almost in that Cabin in the Woods kind of vein, where it's too funny for its own good, it undercuts its premise, it has a couple twists and turns that make it interesting, a little different, but at the end of it, it's a meh movie, and I wouldn't classify it as good horror.
All right, but what now? I mean, if you were to take, like I guess the horror heyday was like 80s slasher flicks. You know what I mean?
And
early
80s
slasher flicks.
You could be considered sort of a golden age of horror. They were stupid and simple, and they were paper thin.
Right.
And they were great, because what the hell does horror need? Ever since the first Chinese or Japanese import came here for horror movies, everyone's had to have movies that do jumping movies. That's what scares people.
That wasn't. Yeah, but I agree 100% that.
Otherwise,
what
is that?
Jump scares are far too prevalent, and now
I know
horror. Like, I mean,
they're all jump scares.
Yeah, they all are, except for I would say that I didn't happen to think that Cabin in the Woods was too bad.
No. I like Cabin in the Woods, but don't call it a horror movie.
It's not. It's a hybrid. It's a weird hybrid. It's like it's very comedic.
It's a comedy with murder.
Yeah, it's very comedic.
A murder mystery.
Well, it's a murder mystery.
Not really horror movies.
How do you say a murder comedy?
Dark comedy.
Comedy, maybe comedy or comedy.
Funny murdery horror. Yeah.
Okay, well.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was more that.
Anyway, so yeah, some certain movies are just really, they're murder movies and not horror movies.
Right, but okay, but we need the juxtaposition of modern versus older, because there were still jump scares in older movies. I just don't think that.
They just didn't have the special effects like they did for.
Right, well, it wasn't as prevalent. You know, I mean, it wasn't like every single thing is like. I don't know if anybody. I can't even say I've seen this movie because it's not even out yet. But did anybody see the previews for what was that movie? Insidious 2. That movie looks like the biggest horseshit ever put on film.
I've seen Insidious 1 and don't remember Insidious 1, so I won't say that's a glowing record.
But did you see there was 3 times in the preview itself where they had somebody creeping up to a sheet covering somebody, and they pull off the sheet and somebody's so they go. Ah! You know what I mean? But that was 3 times in one preview. Come on! Well, that's ridiculous.
In the tradition of horror movies, there was sequels and sequel again and sequel again and sequel again. I mean,
Yeah, but I don't think that's a sequel problem. I think that's just a bad rating problem. Yeah, well, it's bad directing. It's lazy filmmaking.
Well, and we're desensitized as a culture. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to make a legitimate horror movie, but at the same time, I don't think enough people are just playing it straight. Using physical sets, using actual blood. Cut the fucking CG horseshit.
You know what did do all this stuff recently?
Well, Evil Dead.
Which is even though it's a kind of remake, oh my god, movie was.
We're gonna take your word on the Evil Dead. I mean, in a world of remakes, of especially horror movies, especially in the horror industry, with Rob Zombie having to remake everything.
Okay, all right. Good point on that. Rob Zombie can make a decent horror movie if they let him.
Yeah.
Who's not letting him?
Well,
Lords of Salem didn't do so well.
Anyway, Freddy Krueger. Okay, all of his horror movies were amazing as far as now obviously amazing's a bit of a stretch of a word there, because if you look back at 5.
No. Fuck you. That entire series is goddamn bar none awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually a fan.
Don't even shit on the first 6 of them.
Now think about
including New Nightmare.
5th one. No, I actually love A New Nightmare.
Let's take it back a long time when the first Nightmare on Elm Street came out, I mean, we were kids, and obviously it was the scariest shit we've ever seen back then.
Yeah, but I mean, why was it scary to you?
Because they never showed him.
Which is something that they definitely
Part
changed
2,
in
they,
recent
even on
times.
the cover of Part 2, you see his face there, and there he is. He's a face now. He wasn't scary anymore. He was funny.
I mean, not only did they rarely show him, I mean, the younger you are, of course, the more you're going to get into it, but they presented a movie monster you can't get away from.
Right.
It's in your dreams.
Sooner or later, you're going to fall asleep,
Right.
and if he's after you...
That's pretty terrifying.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Not like these, like, and this is actually kind of, I guess I'm kind of fighting something that I liked in some way because I did think this movie was all right. But this to me was the start of the downfall of horror movies. Was a movie like The Ring, okay? Because now, I'm just saying this.
Was that the first of the jumpy movies?
No, it wasn't that jumpy. It's just that there's some almost. I mean, I understand that saying ridiculous coming from just praising, Nightmare on Elm Street, which is like some guy died and like the devil allowed him to live on forever, in the people's nightmares, and that's realistic compared to the demon. Yeah, but
Yellow sperm.
There was nothing complicated about the movies back then.
no, but what I'm saying is, I think that they've almost oversimplified things. I mean, think about it, right? Some videotape that you watch because it was imprinted by this girl. How did she imprint on a videotape?
Because of reasons, that's why.
That was the start of like the lazy horror movies. Okay, in my opinion, that all of a sudden all you had to do was say like James said, or like James quoted, Torque. Reasons.
Yeah.
Well, it happens. Reasons will happen. So, and then you have some terrible story built around the fact that there's absolutely no reason for this thing to exist.
I mean, that and The Ring definitely did have some of the shittiest payoffs. Because, I mean, it was more of a horror suspense movie, but yeah, I mean, how does she kill people? It's like she'll crawl towards you, kind of get in your face, and then you're dead. The exact same thing as The Grudge.
Right.
Ghosts that basically kill you by getting all up in your face.
Right. Recently, James and I both saw this movie called The Conjuring. Now that movie just made $200 million.
That much?
Made $200 million.
I stopped keeping track. That movie made more than Pacific Rim.
Yes. $200 million. Okay? And well, it made $200 million. Okay? And I will say that it was, at best, an average horror movie at best. At worst, it was modern dribble.
Honestly, I can't help you too much with modern day horror movies. I don't watch them.
Did you ever see Amityville Horror?
The original one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a stupid movie, but...
Yeah. Well, it's based on the same two people who handled the Amityville Horror case.
Oh, you mean like
The
Warrens?
Bullshit
case?
Warrens or
Yeah,
Warrens.
The real life phony case, you mean?
This movie is based on the same two people that handled all that stuff. It was just another house.
Is it a fictional continuation
No.
of what they've...
No, it was based on another true, quote-unquote true story that happened.
That went to another fake haunted house?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they handled like multiples of stuff like that.
Ghostbusters.
They are the Ghostbusters. They are actually real
Ghostbusters. Somebody get me the Ghostbusters.
and they're trying to tell you that this guy...
I mean, a Bobby Brown song right there?
Please don't ever make Ghostbusters 3.
I'm actually covering the thing here just so we don't show it.
There's hockey trivia on the back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Canadian. It's like,
What do you do that you can't
what we're drinking.
Stanley Cup final the president to the conference trophy? What did you do?
That's not something that will be on American.
I don't understand why. I'm a Canadian citizen, so that's why.
I know you're a Canadian citizen, but that's your reason for supporting Nazis?
I don't know.
Just support
Beer.
Beer.
Just do the Canadian thing until you're sorry.
Okay. Like they always say.
What are you sorry for? You're sorry for Brian Adams. And I agree with that. We should seriously apologize to Brian Adams. That's serious business.
Yeah.
Whoever thinks Brian Adams is okay, it's not okay.